Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party Ponyville style. Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party on the go.
Hello and welcome to the Canterlot Voice, Canterlot.com's one and only podcast, or so I like to believe. This is Tenkan hosting for today, and aside from the creepy crawly ants underneath my feet, I've got two fine guests joining me today, Oilwells
Hey, nice to be here.
and Weesh.
Hello.
Yes, the new episode, creative threads to talk about, roleplay, and of course, the interview section, which is spiced up a bit, thanks to a suggestion from Weesh to do so. Yeah, let's get to it. The featured artist for this week is Kudelin. She's got some fancy art, like no kidding. I can't even come to explain how fancy it is. The curves on it, on her drawing style. Have you guys seen her art?
Oh no, yeah, I definitely checked it out. It's really, some impressive stuff, and I love how it kind of varies from picture to picture. Not all the pictures are done in the very same way.
Very dynamic styles and poses, great colors.
Seriously.
She has a good emphasis on character in her drawings. You can kind of sense the characters and how the ponies act and stuff. Instead of it just being kind of a flat drawing of a character, there's some sort of kind of a small glimpse at a story going on.
Yeah, like Rainbow Veins. That one? That is trippy.
I'm not exactly sure what's all going in there, but I like it.
It's good to have a little bit of something abstract and Dr. Seussian.
Yeah, very Dr. Seussy.
Varying styles and stuff like that. It looks fantastic.
True. Now let's move on to the creative thread section. This section we sort of discussed just any sort of thread that we find creative on Canterlot that we class as creative. It's not particularly in the creativity section, it's just something we think has something creative in general. Like, Allwells, I'm plugging it in here, I'm plugging your work here, sorry. You basically created some music and put it on YouTube and shared it on Canterlot. And I personally liked it. It's not pony, but I'm waiting on the pony content.
Well, yeah, for people listening, and he's talking about the thread I created, DJ Ango. I was looking around at generally very brony-based, remixers and DJ artists, like Living Tombstone.
Mm.
I've worked with music before, but I've never done kind of my own electronic music thing. And so I already had Fruity Loops, and I had already had some experience making beats and stuff like that. So I started just kind of putting together, taking some things that that I hadn't used for beats, and kind of just creating more music around it, more melody.
Yeah, so far you got two videos, which both I really enjoyed. Like, they're really good. And the second one specifically, because it sounded a lot like Portal to me, Portal 2, and sort of like an old classic game. Not sure if anyone heard of Blakestone, but anyways.
I can definitely try and make some pony-related content, whether it be a theme of a song's related to the show, or maybe take maybe an audio clip or something and try and incorporate there. But I'm definitely trying to expand, trying to experiment more, coming with some interesting stuff.
Cool, man. Keep it up, and keep the thread updated.
Yeah, I should have some new stuff coming up at some point. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on it. And any feedback anyone wants to give me, I'll happily accept. I'm always looking for more feedback.
Alrighty, moving on. We got one more thread for the creative thread section, which was completely appropriate to talk about, is the Telephone Pictionary Part 6.
Alright, so if you're not familiar with Telephone Pictionary, you may be familiar with Telephone, a kid's game where people whisper in the ear of the person next to them, who whispers in the ear to the person next to them, and you get to the end of the line and find out if the original message has gone through or not. Telephone Pictionary takes that from line to picture, and so you don't get to see anything prior to the line or the picture that you have received.
Yeah.
And so we then look at the end to see if the original line matches the other line, and hopefully it does not.
That's the whole fun of it. It is ridiculous. I've played, I think, 3 Telephone Pictionaries. I haven't seen the results for the other ones, but this one was like one of the funniest. The sequel to this one should have a lot more participants in it. I expect a lot more because this one worked so successfully. As someone summarized it, the first line started out as Doctor Who's attempts to avoid an embarrassing situation, and the concluding line at the end of the game is Derpy can't understand why Luna's all fat. It's just like face hoof material, you know?
I got to draw my first ever face hoof in this particular game myself.
Apparently Luna's pregnant in all this.
Davros illustration absolutely is about pregnancy because there's a cultural thing where good news is synonymous with pregnancy.
Oh man, that's hilarious. At first, like I would have found it sort of a little weird in general, Luna being pregnant. You know, I just couldn't fathom it, but it was just so funny because Derpy was involved.
Derpy makes almost anything better.
I'd say if you only go to this telephone Pictionary thread for one reason, you should go to see Starstorm's cute interpretation of Derpy. It is just heart-meltingly cute.
It's just so innocent.
I'm so glad that Saucepans isn't the standard, because I would never have made the cut otherwise.
It's actually really good. Yeah, especially like Derpy's face, so confused. Oh man, that's hilarious. So is there a Telephone Pictionary 7 already out? Like, so people can join in?
I think you guys just need to be paying attention in general, because I love the game and I try to get the ball rolling as soon as I feel like people have forgotten, what the waiting for a day feels like.
Yeah, because it does take long, especially when there's too many people. It almost takes forever to just see the result.
I think especially for the drawing, people feel pressure to spend a lot of time on it.
Mm.
And really, these first couple of drawings are all the quality that we need. They don't have to be amazing. They just need to, something you can get the idea across in 10 minutes.
True.
The bigger deal is to stay on track, though. We want to keep the game moving more than we need an awesome picture.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of have fun with it. It's not judging on who draws well, who draws the best. Anyway, that's enough for the creative threads section. If you guys got any more you think we should talk about on the podcast, send them our way or just post them on the thread below. And yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll give our little review about it and feature it. Alright, so we got the interview section, but I'm gonna ask the questions quickly, and they're different than, normal questions. They're a little bit silly, but, it's just for fun. So I'll be asking both you, Oil, Wells, and Weesh at the same time, and you guys, hopefully you won't talk over each other and stuff like that, but that'll be a problem. So, you guys ready for this, mentally? Any question?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw it at you.
It's interesting to note that I recommended this idea to Tenken because it absolutely terrifies me.
Oh man, what do you find terrifying about it?
I do not think well on my feet. One of the things I love so much about discussing stuff on Canterlot is that I can write and rewrite and edit and edit and edit and edit and edit. And here, what I say is what I said, and there is no time to think.
Okay, alright. So that's why it should be you answering first. Just to,
Uh-oh.
Alright. Alright, first question. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Yep.
Favorite pony?
Fluttershy.
Pinkie Pie.
Favorite episode?
What's the one with the race? What the Fall Weather Friends?
The one with discard, the Return of the Harmony, or I don't remember the title.
Yes. Favorite season of the year. Favorite season of the year.
So far, it's season 1.
No, favorite season of the year, people. There's 4 seasons in 1 year.
Summer.
Summer. Favorite color?
Red.
Blue.
If you're driving your blue or red car down the road and you spot an old lady crossing the street, what will you do?
I will stop.
Speed.
Alright, favorite song?
Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve.
Your heart is a muscle the size of your fist by Ramshackle Glory.
What kind of songs? Favorite movie?
Life is Beautiful, the Italian movie.
Nice. Metropolis, the old silent sci-fi film.
Swimming or running?
Swimming.
Yeah, swimming.
Do you RP?
I do not.
I do.
Why?
I love creating stories.
It is unhealthy for me.
Celestia or Luna?
Oh, Luna. Luna.
I disagree with the question.
What? That's not an answer. There's no Celestia or I disagree with the question. It's Celestia or Luna. You gotta answer, man.
The Luna.
Jetpack or submarine?
Jetpack.
Submarine.
Tank or jet? Who goes for submarine, man? Wait, I gotta stop. Who goes for submarine? Seriously? Okay, sorry. Tank or jet?
Tank.
Tank.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Nice. I really like this style of questioning. It's so much more funner. And I'd like to thank you, Weish, for introducing the idea because just spicing things up a bit. Although it might not be your honest answer, because you're just like on the hot seat. Just say anything. Yeah, Weish, you seriously can't choose between Luna or Celestia?
I can choose between them. The problem is that the choice between Luna and Celestia is tied into the new Lunar Republic versus Celestia topic, which is very sad to me because they have healed their relationship and this conflict doesn't actually exist. And so it really makes me sad to think of there being a schism between these two sisters that love each other so much. And so actually saying one or the other feels like I'm betraying the show.
You don't indulge in the blasphemy, and the thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is true, but like personality-wise, like I don't look at it concerning, nations or whatever, republic.
Okay, then I like Celestia.
Aw. Oh man, that hurt me, man.
Why? Why you like Luna, Tenken?
Man, don't you pity Luna for being banished in the moon for 1,000 years?
It seems to have worked. It broke her down, and apparently it gave her time to think, and their relationship was healed. So, I think a lot of people underestimate the value of discipline.
Oh man.
Good answer. Good answer.
That is a good answer, yeah.
Celestia is one of the primary reasons that I got past the second episode. I saw so many spiritual parallels between my personal beliefs and Celestia, and it really excited me.
Oh, cool. It's good, like you found something that you can relate with, just like everyone else did. One thing that sometimes is enough to make you like it.
Exactly.
Like, of course, I have a lot of reasons, but sometimes it's just one thing that, is close to your heart, whether it be your religion or a character you can relate to from real life to the show. Just enough to make you like it. Like, the latest episode, yeah, let's move on to discussion, actually. The Apple Family Reunion. I liked it so much because Granny Smith was just... I don't know, I liked her so much more in this episode. She reminded me of my grandma, and I'm just like... that's really, really cool, really sweet. And, her personality and the whole she's not hearing words properly thing.
Yes, it really is a bittersweet episode for me because I am so far away from my family here in Alaska, and I am going to see my grandma that I haven't seen in 4 or 5 years soon. I'm going to see my family soon. And so it made me happy and it made me sad.
Aw.
Well, it's not very action-packed or it's not very super silly. It's definitely very satisfying because they really do take just a normal plot. They have a family reunion and they make a very touching episode about it. How it's so important to Applejack to make sure everything's right. And, at the end she just realized that they're not doing this for the sake of the reunion. They're doing it for the sake of the family. And it's very touching and just very sweet.
Everybody knew it except for Applejack, and I love that she wrote a letter to Celestia. I was a little worried that those were a thing of the past.
Yeah, finally, right?
Yeah, about time. I think it's the only one on the season.
8 episodes since they had a letter to Princess Celestia. So, yeah, I was getting pretty worried there.
It's every once in a while it's good to see an episode where Apple Bloom knows what's going on, and it's taking Applejack a bit to figure out what's really important.
Applejack finally got her own song.
Someone said that the song was bland.
I can see that it doesn't seem like they took as much time to create a hook or something, but I mean, still, yeah, I wouldn't say bland would be the word. I think it's still like a good song. It fits the episode, the feel of everything.
Calling it bland, I feel, is kind of like saying, Daniel Ingram didn't put much effort into it. But instead, I kind of liked it because it was simple. The episode was simple. Yeah, the song also concluded the episode too, pretty much right at the end. It didn't need to be complicated. There didn't need to be some complicated words used. This is the Apple family after all. They're not gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a very simple song, like you said, for a very simple episode. And I think, while it isn't the catchiest song out there, I think it does its job well enough. And I mean, like I said, I've just been waiting for Applejack to sing for, quite some time, so I was happy enough.
Yep. So, final verdict of the episode.
I think good.
Quite enjoyable.
I personally liked it. It was nice. The fact that it was just centered on Applejack and her family was really special. It was an episode full of love, I feel.
Yeah.
One thing I found interesting, Granny Smith said 100 moons ago there was the last family reunion. I'm like, wait, 100 moons ago? Doesn't that... So, what does that mean?
100 moons is roughly 7.67 years. So Applejack must be about 8 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Depending on how old she was during that flashback, somewhere maybe a year or less. So yeah, somewhere around like maybe 7.5 to 8, maybe 9 years old, which would put the rest of them about the same age.
Except Fluttershy, she's older than Pinky.
Yeah.
A year older, exactly, yeah. All in all, a very good episode. Now we're moving on to the roleplay section, where we talk about Belosh and his epic RP Spotlight blog.
I do like the idea of the spotlight, just taking a particular character and just kind of going over the kind of history they've had in the RP section and kind of giving a bit of a background to the character and stuff. I mean, it gives a great way to sum up the character in such a way where someone doesn't have to go through all the threads that the person's been in, and they can just kind of get a good sense of the character.
Yeah, true. Belosh gives the spotlight to one of Steel Eagle's OCs called Pathfinder. She's a Pegasus pony who is the #1 fan of Daring Do. Grows up to be adventurous because she read Daring Do stories and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. And there's like 4 main sort of events that Belosh points out that spotlight her, character in general. It was really interesting. Time to move on to our final section.
Segment.
Segment. I'll still fit in a sh there somehow. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me these days. I'm making a lot of tongue twisters. Final section. Shoutouts.
I have a shout out to Physics Ninja Star Swirl the Bearded, who I always enjoy reading his post. And I have always... Go ahead.
No, I just said indeed.
Oh.
I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I will admit that every once in a while I'll see someone bring up something vaguely mathematics or physics related, and I'll think in the back of my mind, I've got to beat Star Swirl the Bearded. I've got to get there first.
Like when he sort of put the beat down on the end of the world thread with the mind calendar explanation.
Oh, yep.
We all got served.
In the Crystal Kingdom episode thread, we seemed to have a very fun time chatting about how the gravity was changed in order to keep Twilight from flinging off into space.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Exactly. I still found that confusing. Wait, no, I get it. She was the only one who flipped, not the tower. Yeah, I get that. All right.
I'd like to give my shout out to Gerard.
Gerard.
As soon as I came in, started talking to me. Constantly uses me as their personal float. If any of you see that in the chat, I'll come in and then Gerard will start, standing on top of me, waving to everybody. So yeah, that's my shout out goes to Gerard.
All Wells, that's where I saw you, man. That's where I met you in the chat room. And I like it. I personally like it. I never used to go in it last year when I first came here. I wasn't fully aware of it. Now, properly utilizing it, I'm meeting people that I generally don't see because they'd be more active in different sections than I am. Anyway, I guess that concludes our Canterlot voice episode. Alright, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Be sure to leave your feedback below on the thread. We love you, Canterlot. Yeah, this has been Tenkan speaking. Weesh and Oilwells, I'd like to thank you both for joining me.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Tenkin.
Thank you for participating in this intellectual episode.
Bye, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Bye.